Okay, this should... Yes, okay. This is live. This is live. Big delay. But the print is still going strong. It seems. Yes, it is. It is. It's interesting to see how the purge is looking. Right, let's close that. Let's open up the new chat. Stream is on, is live. Where can you buy the MK2S multi-material kit? I am not sure if you can actually buy this thing as a full kit, as a full-on, you know, ready-to-go kit, etc. But you can buy the upgrade and the MK2S as separate units. And if you're building the kit, then of course you can build it to a multi-material one straight away. Perfect. Sweet. Did I find a coworker yet? No, unfortunately not. The thing is, most people that applied were either overqualified, sorry, or too far away. So I will need to look into what to do there. Okay, but as far as the print goes, yes, I will do a too long than read in a second. As far as the print goes, I am happy. I sound surprised. I shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be surprised because again, this is Prusa, and so far I've not really seen anything from them that I wasn't happy with. But this is pretty much flawless. And look at that. Crisp color transitions. It's gonna be interesting to see how it handles the priming in the back here. How well it actually adjusts the amount of priming it does. But so far so good. Okay, affiliate link. I do need to talk to Prusa about that. So just to get one thing clear, I love Prusa's products. I love their printers. I have 3 of them, which means the most of one printer that I have. I didn't pay for any one of those, but they're still really fantastic machines. The thing is, these Mark IIs, they're pretty much the only printer that I do not have any sort of an affiliate link for. Whether it's Amazon or GearBest links or AliExpress or anywhere, I'm not making any money off of you buying these printers. And so far, I don't know. I don't really mind. Of course, I would love to have some sort of affiliate link for them. But again, I am not making money by selling you these machines. That is a common thing on YouTube. GearBest, yes, they're one of the prime targets there. But yeah, I don't have an affiliate link for Prusa. They're pretty much the only company that I don't have one for. But they make fantastic printers, and I'm very happy to recommend them even without an affiliate link. So there you go. Anyways, where were we? Too long, didn't read. So this thing, camera right in front of me. Cool. Let's switch back to the close-up. This thing, Prusa Mark II Multi-Material Upgraded MK2S MK2MM. Okay. MK2MM. Seems stuck? No, it's not. This is so what I've picked up from Prusa so far is you cannot buy this machine assembled with the multi-material upgrade already installed. You can buy the assembled Mark IIS, and then you can do the multi-material upgrade yourself, but you cannot buy this machine as is, or as I got it. This is apparently a custom built one. So yeah, this is probably one of the only machines that exists like this. I know Maker's Muse got one. I know Joel, the 3D printing nerd, got one just like this, and I'm expecting videos of that very soon. because it's quite a fantastic machine. But yeah, we took it out of the box. We, did the full calibration, which was overkill, which you don't really have to do, but I want to do it just because it wasn't shipping, and it can do the full calibration. It can do the full self-tramming, squaring, everything like that. Did that, ran through it just fine, said it was square and trammed and everything. We did have a bit of an issue with loading the filament, because apparently the filament it doesn't load it all the way in, or either, I don't know, something skipped. Probably the extruder just skipped because it was dragging the entire filament rack. But the Z calibration prints were actually not printing any material for the first 2 or 3 runs. But then it went fine. It started printing. It started extruding material. We did the calibration, and after we got Prusa to shut up about following the manual, it is now printing a gear test 4 material test print that was pre-sliced on the SD card. So this is one of the one of the included test files. And yeah, it is printing well so far. Japan is pointing out nothing went wrong for loading filament. The Mark II Multi-Material just loads it that way, so it doesn't... apparently it doesn't load it all the way into... Well, it doesn't load it far enough, so that or the calibration print just was missing these. You can actually see them up here. These purge lines that fill out the rest of the Bowden tube, depending on how far the filament got in. So you can actually see that this is extruder 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a bit of material right there for 1. There's very little for 2 and 3, and the 4th one has a lot more material. So I'm just thinking these filaments weren't all loaded to the exact same length, and this just evens that out. It just extrudes a bit, it purges a bit. It managed to get the length of the filament synced, and yeah, then it went to printing. It went to printing this lovely gear bearing. And so far that's working out very, very well. Look at that. And again, that was just one of the pre-sliced files that was included on the SD card. If you guys are interested, we could check out the software while this thing is printing if you want some extra entertainment. Seven Park is asking about V6 heads. Yeah, so this is using a very standard E3D V6. It should be, well, it is a V6. It doesn't have any modifications to it. The only modification really is this multi-material Y splitter, quad Y splitter. So yeah, standard Mark 6, which means theoretically you should be able to drop in a volcano or something along those lines. However, the software, I don't know how well that's going to be playing along, how well the purging etc. is going to work. Do not know, but that is probably going to be the biggest weak spot. There are a few different selections for let's get you focused. There we go. There are a few different selections for nozzle diameter in the Prusa Control software, and I think we're going to check that out right about now. So yeah, are there still only 3 supported materials types? Well, let's check it out. Is the Y splitter available alone? It is. So again, don't quote me on that. That is what the best of my knowledge is if it is a modified V6. But I think it should be a very standard V6. Maybe the small Teflon tube is different, but the rest of the hot end definitely is a stock V6. Let's actually check out Prusa Control while we're at it. So Let's keep the printer printing in the background. Switch over here. Turn that off and that on. Why are you not turning on? There we go. So cool. There's the print going. The throat in the E3D multi-material unit. The throat, that is the heat break. Interesting. Okay. Again, don't quote me on anything I say today. Can we get this? There we go. Okay, this is the Prusa Control 093388 beta. This is the one I just downloaded. So by default, you are getting just the printer settings, Prusa PLA, optimal. I've showed Prusa Control before. I did make a quick video about it. Just giving you the very basic control about, you know, the basic settings you need to control. However, you can go into settings and select your i3 Mark II multi-material. And then you have the options of a 0.4 or a 0.6 millimeter nozzle. So 0.4, we're just going to leave that at that. Automatic placement, we're just going to leave it at this. And then we're going to open up the manual, because there is actually a manual for the Prusa Control, I believe. Prusa Control is the easiest way how to dive into multi-material printing with Mark II. Open settings and choose original Prusa i3 Mark II multi-material, as your printer menu on the right will extend to accommodate more extruders. Okay, did that. Wipe tower is also shown. You can see and adjust the position of it. Smart wipe towers can be found in chapter 9.1. Smart wipe tower size and position. Cool. Sweet. So I suppose, let's see. So we can always switch this back into single material mode, which means it's just going to act like a very, very simple, you know, a standard Mark IIS, basically, just with a Bowden extruder. Wipe armor. That sounds interesting. Let me see if I can find some dual extrusion files. Valdemar Volta is asking, should he take the time to learn Slick 3R Slicer? If you have a Mark II, start with Prusa Control first. It gives you, you know, a familiar interface that you, once you've mastered that, once you know what the settings you have there do, then you can step up to Slick 3R Slicer. But I'd actually say start with Prusa Control if you have the Mark IIS. We need a benchy. Do we have him? I don't even have a stand-up benchy. What's up with this PC? The 3D Benchy has a Wikipedia page? Wow. So that looks about right. 3D Benchy for dual and multi-part color 3D printing. Several parts, yeah, so you can obviously customize this whichever way you want. 17 individual parts. Wow. Give it a try and experiment. Download. Follow this link. Download the 3D file. I'm not gonna download a torrent right now. Lag has now moved to Tom's PC. Yeah, if anything's lagging, it's probably my PC, but can you use Simplify 3D? Probably. So let's see. 3D Benchy has a ton of different files. So standard one, and yeah, you can basically assemble this whichever way you want, but I'm just gonna get the full set. There's a Benchy with multicolor on the SD card. Yes, I am trying to do this manually. I'm trying to do the I'm dual print. There we go. I am trying to walk through the manual slicing of let's turn that off. Oh, did I move one? How do we dual print? Let's see. Import multi. Look at that. There's you can't just drop these in. Every slicer works slightly differently. I know from Cura you import them and then you merge them. Here it is import multi-part model file. So basically you head over to these and then you open up the two STLs, open, loading multi-part, there we go. How do you merge the parts in Prusa Control? Yes, here we go. That's how you merge the parts in Prusa Control. You open them as a set. So this is, yeah, there we go. And that's basically the placeholder for your priming or purging tower. By the way, speed is usually going to be faster. My stream might be lagging right now because I'm already at 100% CPU. Yeah. Usually this is faster. There we go. 4 hours 29. And we do get a preview right here. Single layer preview. Yep, of course this doesn't show you much, but I mean you do get the preview of the 3D file and of the priming areas right up front here. So this is exactly what we're seeing in the print that's going on right now. We have these priming areas up front, and Prusa Control or Slick3R, which this is based on, does auto-generate them. And as we go up here, yeah, standard Benchy, and then the prime tower back here. Okay, so it prints infill where it doesn't need to prime, so that it has something to prime onto. It prints infill to save material, and then when there's actually something to prime out, it does that. And there we go again, there's only one material in this layer, so it does not prime, it just keeps the prime tower going. There we go, that's cool. That's done. Filament 3.3 meters, however much that is in grams. But yeah, 4 hours 29. Quite a while for a Benchy. Let me tell you that much. Estimated time in Prusa Control is really close to the reality. That is good. Where is that in new Prusa Control? This is a Prusa Control that I've downloaded just today. So Yeah. Is the multi-material kit available now? It's actually been available for a while. Check the Prusa page. You were able to order it. It was on pre-order, I think. I know a few people have theirs already, and have had them for a while. So it's definitely available. It's definitely shipping. It might be a bit of a queue until you get one if you order one today, but they are shipping. They are shipping. Mega Making saying, Tommy, need a Threadripper. Maybe. I just bought that laptop like half a year ago. Quad core, NVIDIA GTX 950, whatnot. It should be enough. If not, I'm just, I don't know. Don't want another 8 cores to take care of. Yeah, so the prime tower, infill prime tower detachment really isn't that big of an issue. I know for a fact that Prusa has been spending the vast or a large amount of development effort, a large amount of time with the multi-material kit into getting the prime tower working. And that includes stuff like what we're seeing here, where it's just infilling on certain heights. Now with 2 materials, it is relatively simple. With 2 materials, you could say it is trivial. But once you bring in, 3, 4 materials even, things get a bit more complicated, and that took them a while. That is what did delay the software side of things quite a bit. So I'm glad they figured that out. I'm glad they have that done. So yeah, just to point that out. Can you print without purge tower? Let me see if that is an option in Prusa control. You can reduce, so in Prusa control we have the option to reduce wipe armor. Okay. And that basically just reduces the amount you have on your wipe tower, the amount of material it uses there. Where was it? Here. Increased if you're doing dissimilar materials, normal if you're just doing different colors, and reduce if you're really confident you're not going to get any bad mixing. It does not seem to be able to print completely without a wipe tower at this point. On some printers I have printed without a wipe tower because I've integrated that into the part, but you can actually hear it speeding up, which is nice. On some printers I have printed without a wipe tower because I just was confident in the way the part was set up. You wouldn't see the transitions, but yeah, not in Prusa control. It might be possible in SlickVR. It most likely is. Can you move the purge tower closer to the print? Yes, you can. So buttons. You can actually just move this and drag this around. Warning, collision. You can move this right next to the print if you want to. I'm not going to hit generate again because that's going to lag everything out, but the idea is, yeah, this is just going to be right next to the print if you want it that way. Totally possible. How much time would you save if you place it like that? Probably not a lot. Not a whole lot. Because moves are fairly fast. Now there was a question about speeds. That is the speeds that are used with a G-code you produce on Prusa control or SlickVR or whichever software you might be using. Well, I guess it's mostly going to be Slicer or SlickVR. Or pronounce it whichever way you want. I'm going to pronounce it my way, the way it's spelled. That is basically the prime slicer for Prusa, and that uses a very gradual speed, a very gradual set of speeds for the different parts of the print. So infill is rather fast, perimeters is a bit slower, outer perimeters, the ones that are going to be visible, are very slow. Top solid infill, the solid infill on top that you're going to see is also slow. but solid infill that you're not going to be able to see is printed faster. So it's a very wild mix of speeds, but it usually works out very well, and you know, prints most things at their optimum speed, where you get good resolution, good print speed, but don't see any of those artifacts that arise from printing too fast. So those settings are on the slower side, which is why these multi-material prints take a long time. Standard prints also aren't the fastest on the Mark II, but again, personally, I will always prefer prints that turn out perfectly on the first try to prints you're going to have to do 2, 3, 4 times and waste time and material that way. And that has definitely been the case with the Mark II, and now I'm hoping also with the Mark II multi-material, where you slice something even with the default profiles, you slice something, you drop it onto an SD card, you jam it into the printer, and you just leave it alone, and you come back 15 hours later and the part is perfect. That's always been the case for me with the Prusa Mark IIs, and yeah, that is something I really value a lot. What is the build quality like? Solid. It's 3D printed parts, but it's solid. Steve M is suggesting that you should just have a duplicate of your printed part and use that as the wipe tower. Will that work? Probably not. There might not be enough, like look at this, like up here in the small chimney, this is a dual extrusion section where you have the blue color on one and the yellowish on the outside, and that's not going to be enough to wipe. If you have just another benchy like that, that's not going to be enough to purge all that filament, so it will affect your main part, and you will still need a purge tower, so might not be the most practical thing to do. Could you melt down a PLA purge tower and recycle it into kind of a junk spool? Yeah, that goes into that entire print recycling topic. Usually it's more work and more hassle to recycle, especially PLA, than it is economically worth. So yeah. Filament change needs 8 to 16 centimeters of purge. Not exactly. It's more like 8 to 16 millimeters of filament. So yeah. What speed is this printing at? Well, probably, if it's the default speeds, it's going to be around 30 to 50 millimeters a second. At 25 to 50, somewhere in that ballpark. What camera am I using again? Well, go to www.toms3d.org/my-gear, where we'll find a full list of all the gear I use for producing videos and live streams. No, but that's a Panasonic GH5. This is a Panasonic G7. Both are connected to AverMedia streaming video capture cards. And they feed into a laptop, into OBS Studio. Audio is through a Zoom H4 and a Rode Filmmaker kit, and a lav mic is hidden in my glasses. So yeah, that should be full disclosure of the gear I'm using. This pasta looks delicious. What kind of sauce are you going to pair with it? What? I did just realize I missed what is probably a $5 tip from Vico05, saying thank you for all your great work. Well, thank you for the tip. Thanks for joining the stream today. Much appreciated. Will I do some video on how to design a simple multi-material object within Onshape? Yes. Yes. I do have that planned. But I will not be using the Mark II for that, the Mark II multi-material. I will actually be using the Atom 3D, Atom Layer 1, Atom 2.5 EX for that. They want to sponsor some videos, and they're actually using a very similar system to this one. So yeah, multi-material part in Onshape will happen, definitely. Yeah, Marco Salguero, again about the cameras I use. The link is also in the video description. Very last link in the video description if you want to check out what stuff I'm exactly using. So yeah. Yeah, Chubby Engineer saying if you have a prime tower that is two different materials, then your upcycled material is going to be unusable. And that is very much true. If you're using PLA plus PVA, you can always dissolve the PVA away if you want to. But if you're doing a flexible and a rigid material, for example, then you're not going to be you're not going to be recycling the tower, the prime tower. Well, even if you have PLA plus PVA, you're always going to have that transition zone where you have a mix of PVA and PLA, and that's not going to dissolve out. So Don't scare me like that. Thanks for the €5 tip, Ronnie. Thanks for doing this review. Yeah, not a review. First impressions only. Probably be the next investment. So far, yeah. I mean, so far this is again as expected with Prusa. Unboxed and it prints. Yes, I realize this is the sample print of the SD card, so this will have been tested many times in the Prusa facilities. They will have made sure that this thing prints reliably, and I do know that. But yeah, I mean, if a printer can do that, if you can unbox it, run through the calibration, ignore the manuals, and get a print that so far looks every bit as good as a regular Mark II or Mark II-S print just in 4 colors, then I'm happy with that. I am really happy with that. Hashtag not a review. I mean, of course, we are using 4 gorgeous materials. Those help. But yeah. Very good so far. Does Prusa Control support custom printers yet? There are those, I think they're JSON files that you can configure, but I'm not sure if they're being picked up yet correctly, fully. Do not know. Could you weigh waste versus part after print? Yeah, the thing is, the waste material is quite a lot. That is one of the issues with these single nozzle multi-material designs. You are putting a lot of material into the waste tower. It is. Oh wow! It just 10%. Wow. It is economical, and it does totally make sense to print more than one of the same part if you're doing multicolor. So if you're doing these multicolor bearings, I don't know, maybe print like 4 or 5 at a time, or even more, because it's only going to be purging once per plate, once per print, basically. So if you print 5 of these at the same time, you're going to use 1/5 of the purge amount per bearing. So yeah, same thing that Frioli is saying, the larger the print, the lower the scrap percentage is, and that is true. The Prusa software does do a few smart things when it comes to like smart purge towers, trying to minimize the amount of material that is wasted, but it's still going to be a lot of material wasted, and it's just Jetman, thank you. Feel free to ban that guy, by the way, begging for subs. Where was I? Yes, you are wasting a fixed amount of material per Z height, so, or per layer even. It's not even per Z height. So if you have a lower layer height, you're actually going to waste more material per layer because you still need to prime once per layer, and that prime amount, that is pretty much fixed. So yeah. Jørgen Mattesen Larsen, thanks for 9.99 euros. Much appreciated. Dead Toby is asking, are the servos driven by an external board? So first of all, these are not servos, these are stepper motors. This might actually be the printer with the most stepper motors I've seen so far. So there's X, Y, Z, Z. That's X, Y, Z, Z. That's 4 motors already, just for motion. And then you have 4 more stepper motors for the extruders. That makes 8 stepper motors. That is definitely the most stepper motors I've had on the printer so far. Maybe not the Stacker S4. I've used that one. That one has more. But the way this works is you have the control board back here. Can we see it on this one? Yeah. I'll get to you in a second. We have the control board back here. This is the same Rambo Mini that is used on the Mark IIS, on the Mark II. Same board, and instead of driving one single extruder motor, it is driving this multiplexer board up here. This is an add-on that plugs into your Rambo. So the Rambo Mini only needs to be 4 stepper drivers, X, Y, Z, and extruder. And then that single extruder signal gets multiplexed, so it gets switched between each of these extruder motors. So when it needs only one of these motors, it switches off the other 3. And yeah, that is how this works. The control board itself only really sees one stepper motor, and then this box up here, this switches it around between all 4 extruders. So theoretically, you could pretty much extend this to nearly an infinite amount of extruders. You could switch this or extend this to 8 or 16 steppers. It wouldn't really make a difference to the control board. Yes, thank you for the 10 euro tip, Keith Lavender. Thank you for a great video. So helpful. I'm hoping that they are helpful. If they are, I'm happy. Is that glue stick I see by the filament rack? Is that glue stick? This is glue stick. This is printer fix. This is an old bar of Magigoo. Did I use that and some blue tape? Did I use that pre-print? No, I did not, because this is a PEI bed. It doesn't need glue stick. Stuff sticks to it directly. You can actually see the corner of the PEI. Probably not as well, but yeah, this is PEI. You don't need anything on top of that. PLA sticks to it well. Actually, this up. I could try to peel this purge line up in the front here, but it's probably not going to peel up. PLA sticks really well. ABS sticks extremely well. PETG fuses to it, so that is an occasion where you would need to use glue stick just to get it off again. And yeah, so do flexibles. Flexibles also stick extremely well. And yes, there is. This is actually the glue stick that is included with the Mark II, the Mark IIS, the Mark II Multi-Material. And again, the manual does mention to use it with PETG basically, and flexibles. And that's what it's for. For PLA, they are including some isopropyl alcohol wipes. You just wipe down the PEI bed, and that sticks incredibly well. Don't put finger grease on the bed. Yes, so if you just do that and you just smear your fingers over the bed, that area right there, that's not going to stick well anymore. Mike is asking, can you only use similar filaments, or can you use filaments with different temperatures? Yes, Yes, both actually. So it works best with filaments that use the same print temperature. So this is, right now what we're printing is all PLAs, different manufacturers. So we have Filamentum, Dust Filament, and 2 more from Filamentum. They all print at roughly the same temperature. That works perfectly because the hot end doesn't need to switch temperatures at all. If you're doing something like PVA plus ABS, where you have 210 degrees, maybe plus 240, 250 degrees, it does make a difference because there is, obviously that heat up and cool down time. I'm not sure how much time that adds to your print and how well it is handled in software. I have not tried that out yet, but it is definitely it is something that the print will need to accommodate for. And depending on how well it handles those temperature transitions, there might be more or less issues. Probably just camera angle. What? Some shifting here on the layers or just the angle? Is there some shifting? Well, there is some shifting as intended because these little gearlets you're seeing in here, they are actually twisting up. Anybody used verbatim filament yet? Is it good? Yes, it is good. And Kato Rendal, thanks for the 20 Norwegian krones. Good to see you live again. Thank you. Thank you. What Jacob Shore is asking, what is the bottom of the part finish like on PEI? So, good point. Because PEI isn't PEI. There are different types of PEI. The one that's on the Prusa right now, you can always switch it out if you want to. The one that's on the Prusa right now is matte. So the part finish is going to be the same type of matte you can kind of see how the reflection looks right there, and that's pretty much how your part is going to look. So it's smooth, but it's not glossy. That is going to be how the bottom of your parts are going to look as well. There are glossy types of PEI that you can get. I've had some from Swedish store, not 3D Gratan. Come on, help me out here. A Swedish 3D printer store. Sorry, I can't remember the name right now. Which was glossy. It's a 0.8 millimeter thick PEI, glossy. Probably too thick for the Pinda probe to pick up reliably, and it's just at the edge of its capabilities, but a very glossy finish, and of course on that the prints also turn out glossy. So it just depends on the type of PEI and surface you're using. I have had someone ask me recently about how to get those prints really, really glossy on the bottom, because he was seeing a friend printing on glass, and he was getting really, really glossy. 3D Prima, yes. Thank you, 3D Prima. He was printing on straight glass, and it was turning out to be really, really glossy, and he wanted to get the same. And yeah, answer is just use glossy PEI if your printer has a PEI sheet and you want to keep using that. The doctor is asking, would you say you have a 3D printer running more often than not? No, I don't. Actually, most of the time I don't have a 3D printer running. There are times when I'm printing like a project, when I'm actually working on something, where I have like 3 or 4 printers running at the same time for a week. But most of the time I don't have a 3D printer running, just because I don't print just to print stuff. I don't print just to waste filament. Even though I have plenty of it, I don't want to just waste it for stuff that is not going to be, not gonna be useful. Come on, okay? Right. I print when I need to, but I don't print to just print stuff. Two more questions about the filament waste in the waste tower. How much? You can actually see it. Look at that. Maybe I can get you guys an angle on that. You can actually see the sparse infill. I don't know why it's switching to sparse infill now. Oh, I see. I see. This is intelligent. Okay. So while we're talking about the prime tower back here, you can actually see it has switched to sparse infill. So it's not printing the layers solid anymore. There you go. You can see it right there. Because right now it is only printing with one color. It is only printing with the Rapunzel silver color. So what the file actually looks like is it has these caps that you're seeing right there. It has the caps in all 4 or 3 colors on the inside there, and then the bulk of the material on the inside it actually prints in that same silver, which means this is going to print really fast. You can actually see the silver layer on top here. There. Which means this is now going to print really fast and waste very little material. Which brings me to the point of how much material is being wasted per print. So it's not a percentage. It's not, it's not a fixed percentage. The larger your print is, the lower percentage of the material you use is actually going to go into that prime tower. So it's a fixed amount per switch. Basically, every time a color switches from one to the next inside a layer, that is one prime amount. So the more layers you have, the more switches you have, and the more colors you use, the more switches you have also. So yeah, it is just a fixed amount. The larger your print, again, the lower your waste percentage is going to be. But if you're just printing like a little Marvin, it's still going to print as much of a prime tower as it is with this bearing, or with an even larger print. But it is quite a lot of material, if I'm being honest. Scrolling by. Mike Kiefer is saying, thanks for all the videos, perfect time for the live feed since I'm awaiting shipping of my multi-material kit. Cool. So what do you think of COR? Lol, laugh, breathe, laugh again, resume, sorry, had to, what? I wish I'd get that, but I don't. But thank you for the $20. Much appreciated. What? Someone wants to explain that. I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Priming with infill. Cool. That will come soon, which means it's going to waste even less material. Cool. Oh, okay. Self-censorship. All right. Okay. Yeah. Prime towers versus wipe bin. So prime towers versus wipe bin. That is an interesting topic, discussion. They're being used for 2 different approaches. So if you've seen, did I do a review of it? I believe so, yeah. The BCN 3D Sigma R17, or the R16, the old one even does it. We have 2 independent nozzles. I guess it would even work with 2 chained together nozzles. 2 independent nozzles. One nozzle goes to the side where it has a bucket and it ejects a fixed amount of material into that bucket. The point with that is it's using independent nozzles, so it just has to prime those. It doesn't have to purge out any old material, any material with a different color from that nozzle, which means you are inherently going to waste less material than with a nozzle that is used for all 2 or 4 materials. But of course you have to worry about 2 nozzles now heating up and staying at temperature and boiling materials possibly. So this is more of a solution where you have something that works but uses a lot of material and you don't have to worry about it so much. But like independent nozzles, you will need to, like Ultimaker does, print a prime tower or have some sort of a bucket and worry about each nozzle individually. Just it's a different approach. I like the BCN Sigma very much. It is a great printer for its own purposes, just like a approach like the multi-material. Excuse me. Just like a approach like the multi-material upgrade on the Mark II isn't going to be a perfect solution for every type of print either. So yeah, that's just the reality of things. There is no perfect solution to every multi-material issue yet. Yeah, Kraken, same thing. Yeah. Again, multiple nozzles, you're going to have some sort of an offset between the individual nozzles. With this one, with a single hot-end single nozzle, you just have to worry about which material you're feeding at which time, but you are only going to use one nozzle, so no shifting around of these 2. It all has its ups and downs. But yeah, I guess if the multi-material, the Prusa Multi-Material would be using a waste bucket, yeah, it would be wasting the same amount of material into the bucket. It maybe wouldn't have to print what it's printing now, like this infill pattern that you're seeing back here. It wouldn't have to print that or prime that amount. But overall, pretty comparable. Gives you back a bit of your print surface, obviously, but practically not really. So yeah, well. Multi-material solutions are at their infancy, that is very much true. And the biggest part, I think, is not the hardware, it is software. It's like the prime tower right now. It's just so much material compared to how much is actually being used for the print itself. So that is something that needs and will be worked on. Needs to and will be worked on. So yeah. Yeah, spammers. Have I tried a diamond type multicolor head? It is supposed to be able to mix colors in real time. Okay, mixing heads, diamond or E3D Cyclops or any of those. Most of them aren't mixing types yet. I've seen, what do they call it? I'm bad with names today. The Polish, I believe, Zemorph, yes, the Zemorph printers that have a dual color mixing hot end. And that's the first time I've actually seen something that looks like it did some mixing. It wasn't perfect. You could still see like the prints were of one color on one side and a bit more of the other color on the other side, because what these multi-input hot ends do is they have no way of actually mixing, of stirring the filament in there. What they do is they basically feed it in, and there is not enough turbulence in there to really thoroughly mix those materials inside. So yeah, what ends up coming out of your nozzle or your printer's nozzle is not something that is actually a homogeneous mixed material, but it is more of a toothpaste style extrusion where you have one color or more of one color on one side and more of the other color on the other. And when you print something, when you print like a tube, let's say a very simple circular tube, it's gonna have the one color showing on one side and the other on the other. So I've not seen a good solution to that yet. There were some experiments with dynamic mixers, like an actual motor that stirs inside, but that thing just oozes like crazy. That was from the early RepRap days. But so far I've not seen a good mixing solution that works reliably yet. Chris is asking, I've definitely missed something in chat. Chris is asking, how do you get that prime tower that has the infill like that? Again, the point is I can actually show you on the Benchy. If it lags now, again, that is my fault. I can actually show you in Slick3R Prusa edition. No, Prusa Control, sorry. I can actually show you in Prusa Control. This is just the default settings configured for the multi-material upgrade. Just selected that and that's it. The infill is generated automatically. You don't select whether you want it or not, but Prusa Control automatically decides whether it should prime in that layer or not. Like up here, right there, you can see it. That is an interesting pattern. Right here in the chimney, where it's only one material in that layer, it does not prime, it just prints the infill. And further up, where it needs both materials, it prints a full priming tower with the full amount of material. And it looks like it's actually doing some weird stuff, like priming more or less. That's interesting. But yeah, that is something that Slick3R or the Prusa Control slicer, which is based on Slick3R, automatically decide for you. You don't really have control over that. Also on the bottom here, where it's just one color, you can see the prime tower is also reduced in volume. How will the print flex now that the extruder motors are moved? I don't know. Probably going to have more of an issue with flex than it did before. That would be my expectations, but yeah. Have I tried using a 0.25mm nozzle on the new setup? No, because I literally just unboxed this thing 2 hours ago. I have not done anything with this printer. I've just taken it out of the box and started to print. That's it. Jacob Westhoff is asking, did the moving of the prime tower shave off an hour of the print time? No, it did not, because I actually switched this. I can show you. This is on reduced wipe. Okay, this is getting cut off. Okay, this is not supposed to read armor. This is just the wipe amount. So this is on reduced and not on normal or increased. It was a normal before, in that I mean, you can see this would add about an hour of print time to it. So yeah, that's just the difference between normal and reduced. Bolt Action Piano, what a cool name. Thanks for the 10 Canadian dollars. He or she just bought a Mark IIS. He wants to know what the best material to print 3D printer parts in is. Anything other than PLA? Well, there are materials that are worse than PLA in as far as suitability for 3D printer parts go. But yeah, PETG perfectly fine for most printer parts, unless it's like really close to your hot end. In that case, I would go for an ABS or an ASA or polycarbonate or something like that. The PETG perfectly fine for most 3D printer parts. I would not use PLA for brackets like for anything that is mechanically strained, that has a bolt through it or that holds a motor or anything like that, because it's just it's gonna work fine for most of the time, but you're just gonna have that moment where everything falls apart, where it cracks or where it starts melting or deforming or something like that, and then you're not going to have a 3D printer to reprint those parts, and you're going to be screwed. So PETG for 3D printer parts, very much recommended. Anything that is a bit better that is on par with PETG as far as thermals and mechanical properties goes is perfectly fine. But yeah, pretty much that. PETG, again, perfectly fine if that's what you want to use. Can we buy this nozzle separately? Well, you can buy a standard E3D V6, but I've been told, I've learned this is not a standard E3D V6. Not sure. So Scott, well, sorry, not gonna try to pronounce your last name. One of the core developers of Marlin is saying he's added basic support for this exact multiplexer that the Mark II Multi-Material has back to the standard version of Marlin. So you will be able to use these features that Prusa is pioneering, basically. There might be someone before him, but the Prusa is pioneering and releasing as their own Marlin fork. You are going to be able to use that with the default version of Marlin now or in the near future. So that is nice. So if you want to upgrade this guy, the dolly, to a multiplexer solution like the Mark II Multi-Material, you might be able to do that in the very near future. Did you do a video on how to get PETG to behave nicely? I don't know, PETG is not hard to print. Well, one thing I can always recommend is to download the Slick3R Prusa edition and just use the default settings for that, because those are settings that work with pretty much any printer. The slicer is not limited to the Mark IIs. You can use it with any printer you want. And yeah, that's what I use for pretty much any printer, and it's been working very, very well for that. Could you print a simple circuit board with the multi-material PLA plus a copper mix? The thing is, anything that goes through this hot end, anything that you can extrude through this hot end, it's not going to be conductive enough to make a real circuit board. Yes, it might be able to light up a few LEDs, but it's not going to be able to do any real power delivery, any real circuitry. Yes, theoretically you could, but not a great idea. There are better ways to make circuit boards, like actually, getting circuit boards made. That would be the preferable solution, and it's cheaper and better in pretty much any way, every way. Might not be as fast, but Does the multi-material upgrade work with Simplify 3D? Trax is asking. I don't know, but it should. It should. There's no reason why it wouldn't, other than Simplify 3D doesn't have the features for it, but considering it's considered the most advanced slicer, then it sure should. Smile. Wow, it even pronounces that correctly. Thank you. By the way, are you hearing the text-to-speech? Is that creeper or anything? I'm just hearing it played back on the TV that's also displaying chat. But yeah, thank you for the 17 euros and 16 cents. That must be some sort of weird conversion. And best of luck with your multi-material upgrade. You already have a Mark IIs, so you're off to a good start. You've already made a few good decisions there. Do you have to feed the filament through the tube of the spool holder? Can you flip the spools so the filament will be at the top of the spool for more clearance? I guess you could. Like these have the outfeed at the these have the outfeed at the bottom here. I guess you could flip it and feed it directly up, but then it would probably pull the spool off of these holders. Well, thank you for the 15 euros. Much appreciated. Yeah, streams. I don't know how I should feel about streams in general. Like, TTS is not coming through. Oh, I see why. Oh, we should have text-to-speech. I muted the wrong thing. What were we saying? I guess I do have to read that out now. Thanks for the informative streams as well as for always keeping up with chat and the audience. Yeah, I don't know really how I should feel about live streams. I like doing them. They're very exhausting. They're very hard on my on my voice because I'm like talking for 3 hours. Sometimes I get not too positive feedback, which I can understand, but I don't really know what to do differently at that. But yeah, I feel like I should keep doing some live stuff. You know. Matthias Wandel made a plywood siren. Yes, on the topic of woodwork and Matthias Wandel and yeah, all those channels. I appreciate those a lot, and I've actually been thinking about making the classic, the very classic blower motors, the axial radio, the radial blower styles that you're using for dust collectors. Making one of those 3D printed, because it would be amazing to just do an iterative design and test out different turbine designs. So simple on a 3D printer. Matthias Wandel doesn't like them. He doesn't like 3D printers at all. But yeah, it would be. It feels like it would be the perfect tool for the job. Someone asked about a orange that matches the Prusa orange. Which one was it? Was that extruder? Some Austrian filament. Was it? What is this stuff? Yes. This is somewhat close. Hoping that didn't skip a step. This orange, yeah, it looks close enough. This is Extruder PTG, another one of those brands that is misspelled and I will mispronounce as a consequence. Extruder PTG matches the orange fairly close. It's a bit more vivid than this orange. But yeah. Is this print done with color changes? Well, currently it is not color changing. It is not switching colors because it is doing the center of the print, and that is only silver. Some reds will come out orange. Well, it's the Prusa orange is not a reddish orange. It's a very orange. Well, it is kind of a reddish. It's not a red. That's what I'm trying to say. It is an orange. It's like a traffic cone orange. I guess that would describe it most accurately. Safety orange, yeah, maybe. What advantage does multi-material have over simply sanding painting your print? Does it? Well, it's automated. It's like the question, what advantage does multi-material have over, you know, what advantage does 3D printing have over manually making parts? It's the same thing, it's automated. It does it on its own. I see your point. When it's just, when you're just doing multicolor, then yeah, painting stuff might be a better option at times. The thing though is multi-material isn't limited to 4 different colors. You can also do different materials. That's why it's called multi-material. You could do one flexible, one rigid, one water soluble. That's totally possible, I think. Maybe. So you could print a part that has water soluble supports. That is probably my biggest use case for a well-working multi-material setup. Just being liberated of that geometric limitation. And yeah, that, and of course you can do stuff that is rigid in some sections and flexible in others. That is the entire part of the entire part that is multi-material. And yeah, that opens up a whole new route of design possibilities. Of course, it does also add a lot of overhead to your CAD process. You do have to design for that in a very specific way, and it does take a bit of different thinking compared to just designing for a single material. So you do have to account for that. And of course, yeah, temperature differences in a setup like this with a single nozzle, temperature differences are an issue, but you can typically find, you will be able to find rigid and flexible materials that print at the same temperature. So that's not too much of an issue. PVAs, yeah, you can work around that, but it's yeah, it's not that big of an issue as you might think, I believe. White balance. Yeah. Cry Thee is asking for the best 3D printer under $1,600. Well, get a Mark II. It's simple. If you just want to know the best one, in my opinion, for what I use stuff for, probably the Mark IIs. Simple. But it of course depends on your exact use case. Customer C-Tuning, good question there. Which plastic has the best aging properties regarding material strength? So, theoretically, materials shouldn't really age strength-wise, unless you expose them to certain chemicals, unless you expose them to heat, that is extensive heat, excessive heat, or chemicals, heat, and UV light. That's like the 3 main parts that can degrade a plastic. One of the best choices there, I think, is still black ABS, because the black colorant, it absorbs UV light, so UV light is not going to be able to penetrate your part. It's not going to penetrate deeply into your part. It might, degrade the first 1 or 2 microns of your part. I don't know how deep exactly it's going to penetrate into a carbon black colored ABS, but not deeply. I've had a part outside in direct sunlight for a few years, for 3, 4, 5 years, I think, and it's still good as new. It still feels good as new on the surface. Just standard black ESUN ABS. So that's not an issue. ABS is also chemically very resistant, and it doesn't really care about heat too much. So black ABS, probably a good choice. ASA maybe as well, as it is less less UV sensitive. But flexibles would work on this Bowden system. Did we seriously crash Prusa's shop? Come on, not again. Let's see. We'll be back soon. We'll be back soon. That is... Whoops. Well then. That just happened. So there was a question about flexibles and Bowdens. So flexibles don't universally not work with Bowdens. If you have one of those standard, what is 95A shore hardness Bowdens, which is the color fab, what's it called, flex, and the most common flexibles are like 95A shore hardness. That is something that a Bowden can handle. I've printed that on a few different Bowden systems. I am confident the multi-material Bowden system will handle that too. So yeah, that's an option. However, if you print that with too much of a shell thickness, if you print it with too much infill, it is going to start feeling like a regular rigid material. What might be a bit of an issue is the very soft materials like Filaflex or I don't know, other super flexibles. Those are probably going to pose a bit of an issue with this sort of setup. But yeah, it should work with reasonable flexible materials. Do I plan to do another Improve Your 3D prints? I feel like those are cheap. 3D Senpai, Improve Your 3D prints. If there's interest, I might just do another one. You know? Right? Nighttime for Prusa. Well, it's like the same time zone, right? It is 8:30 right now here in Germany. I think Czech Republic is in the same time zone. All right. It sure looks like lag is better today, or today in this stream. A lot of people want Senpai. Okay, well, that's always something I can do. It's always something I can do on the weekends if I don't have anything else to stream. Ninja Flex, will it work? Yes, probably. Ninja Flex is in the 95 or 90A range. It should work. Okay. Open lag? Was? Nope. Lag? What? just for reference, what this stream is now is the normal latency. So it's about a 30-second delay between me saying something and it arriving in your computer. So it's gonna be very reliable. If this isn't solid and reliable, then we do have an issue, but it is introducing a lot of lag, so well, just to be safe. Will the multi-material upgrade work with the RAM's 1.4 SB? board. I don't know what the 1.4 SB is. And I've not looked into the multi-material upgrade parts in that great of a detail yet. You should probably be able to make it work with any board, but no guarantee. Prusa's still around. Yeah, he just was here a second ago. Let me give you guys a fresh angle on things, because you are starting to see a bit of depth to this part. The surface finish, as always with Rapunzel Silver, is just... Look at that. Isn't that... Wow, okay, that too close, too close. There we go. That's the prime tower back there, and here we go, there's the gear bearing. That surface finish, though. Yep. Yes, for me, it's kind of the same feeling as unboxing and trying out the Mark II for the first time. It's like, yeah, you unbox it, you get it going, maybe you run into a few hiccups in the setup process, which are, you know, not the machine's fault. It's like, yeah, what do I do? It's just working. It's printing extremely well. I can act like I'm surprised, but I'm not. It's just doing its thing. I'm done here, basically. What is my preferred printing surface? PEI? Yeah, pretty much. Just nice to print onto. But I also don't mind any surfaces where you have something that you can brush on and just use that. Like anything that's textured, I don't know, some sort of a textured surface that you can brush Magic Goo or some other stuff onto, totally fine. So, list of boards the multi-material upgrade is compatible with. I believe it is only officially compatible with the Mark II, which is a Rambo Mini, but it should work with pretty much any other board as well, as long as it's like, as long as the firmware plays along. Again, I've not looked into this in this great amount of detail yet. Why is it called Prusa Research? Well, they're putting a lot of research into this. So, yep. Let's do a Prusa i3 Mark II S versus Fischer Technique. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. What was it gonna... Pug of Stardog is asking, hey Tom, I have a roll of your blue filament here. Ha! That makes two of us. I also have one right here. And I have a webcam that is like, is it abrasive? And do I need a steel nozzle because of the glitter? No, it is not abrasive. It is, as far as I understand it, it is little metallic particles, but it's not abrasive in the sense that it's going to wear down your nozzle. It does not wear down your nozzle any more than a regular filament. So, yeah, it's the same with the. Let's try this again. Nope. It's the same as with the. Yeah, this is the best perspective. I'm sorry about the flickering. It's the same as with the filamentum colors. These also use particles. Filamentum, Rapunzel Silver, Infinity Blue, Gold Happens, and Vertigo Gray. All use particles. They're all fine to print in a standard brass nozzle. You don't need anything wear resistant for that. So perfectly fine. To have experience with Zortrax. They have offered me a review machine a while ago. I've never followed up on that. Not done anything with that, unfortunately. I should reprint my Mark II parts in blue. Yes, unfortunately, I don't have the Infinity Blue in PTG. So, yeah. Not going to reprint them in PLA though. Can I describe the filament drives used? Well, that's a good one, because this is actually a hoping. I'm gonna throw that webcam so soon. Can I describe these filament drives used? Let's actually swap over to this. Okay, that is a good point, because I would have glossed over this. So we have 4 stepper motors on this machine. We have 4. Actually, this one's hot because the other one are turned off completely. Nice. These are cold. This one's warm. We have 4 extruder motors, 4 regular extruders, but I wish I could get you a perspective of this. I might just be able to. These are not your regular old extruder gears that you'd see on Machine X. These are actually Bondtech gears. I believe that they're the original Bondtech gears, though. If someone gets seasick, I'm sorry. Try my best here. Come on. Come on. Okay, I am too close. Here we go. You can actually see that inside there. That is the shit. That's the shit. Yeah, that's the Bondtech gear right there. So these are dual gear extruder drives, which are driving the filament from 2 sides. Amazing. And I believe those are original Bondtech gears, hardened and all, and whatever they are. So yes. So overall, the extruder is not geared down. It is a direct drive. It is a 1-to-1 gearing ratio, but it does have that dual gear drive from Bondtech. Hoping I'm not misrepresenting anything here. But yeah, it has those dual drive gears in there, which means it's just never going to slip. Other than that, regular, same Prusa i3, Prusa Research branded motors. I believe there are regular 200 step motors. The step value doesn't matter that much with the Bowden, because the Bowden is going to smooth out things anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It is a dual drive, non-geared, 200 steps per millimeter drive setup with Bondtech gears. Yes, I knew those were the Bondtech drive gears in there. I knew that it had it, but I just forgot. I forgot they were in there. Too many good things to find out about this printer. Like, I would have been happy if it was just the old brass gears. I've been using those happily ever since, but yep, nice upgrade. Let's fix these zip ties while we're at it. And I'm gonna do a comparison between the Prusa Mark II MMU and the Mosaic Palette Plus. Probably not. I don't have a Palette Plus, and I'm not really, again, I'm not really sure about how I want to handle reviews and review units, and yeah. Have I been pronouncing Prusa wrong? I thought I was pronouncing it correctly. I know it's not Prusa. So good explanation from Prusa there. The regular drive gears caused rough filament and increased jamming in the cooling tubes. Interesting. That's, again, that is the research part of the name, in case you are still wondering. Does that go in there? Are those standard NEMA 17s? Well, they're Prusa branded and NEMA 17s, so probably not completely stock standard. But yeah, they're NEMA 17s. Somebody actually sent me one of these zip tie guns. I've had these in various shapes and forms, but I've never really thought I needed one until now. Of course I can't grab it because it's not pulled through far enough. I have a feeling that zip tie should be in a different place, but that's the best I can do for now. Do we have some pliers to pull it through? I said the E3D is a standard one. Yes, that was probably incorrect. Yeah. That's not working. Da. The Prusa branding makes them a billion times better than regular NEMA 17s? Maybe. It's lasered. Yeah, someone was asking about TCT, and that I think is a good course of conversation that we can have. So I will be at TCT all 3 days. When is that? In 2 weeks? In a week? 1.5 weeks? I am really excited about it. Really excited for it. And yes, again, I will be there all 3 days, courtesy of E3D. They are inviting me over again. They did last year already. And I will be getting a chance to visit E3D headquarters again after TCT. I'm kind of planning on doing like an interview track again with them. Maybe ask a few hard questions, as I typically do. We'll see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting some of you at TCT. I will be at the E3D booth at, fixed time of the day for a meet and greet. Let's see how many people show up. But yeah, interviews, checking stuff out. TCT has been good fun, even though it wasn't like groundbreaking news there. It never is on these trade shows, but everyone's there and it's good fun. So yeah, if you have something in particular you want me to check out, Let me know. I'll try to get that in. And if you have any questions for E3D that I should ask them, also feel free to post them somewhere here, chat, or on the forums at discuss.toms3d.org. Someone wants to open up a thread for that, feel free to do that and I'll check it out. E3 Big Box 2, I don't think that's gonna happen, but I can certainly ask them about that. What stand am I going to be on at TCT? Yes, I will be with the E3D team on the E3D stand, but mostly I'll be roaming around. So again, E3D do have like a community booth. I think a few different community members will be there at different times of the day. That's a good first place to check out. And yeah, other than that, I will be doing my duties as a member of the press, and I'll be doing press things for most of the day, I believe, if I get around to doing that. Usually it takes me like 2 hours to get from one end of the convention to the other, but that's just part of well, putting my face behind these things. MRF, yeah, MRF 2018. I should go. I should kind of make that happen. It's just always, it's just so much work getting to places. Yeah, I should probably go. Sound step 6. Yeah, that would be a nice upgrade. What is the next big upgrade for 3D printing? The next step, SLS or SLS multi-material? None of those, actually. And this is something that I've been preaching for years. Let's actually switch over to the large, or to the A-cam again. Null Zero is asking what's going to be the next big step. So I've always been saying this. I don't think it's in the machines. Yes, multi-material is great. It's fantastic. It enables so many new things. SLA is great if it works. Sintering is great because it enables more applications. But if you're saying consumer 3D printing, it's gonna have to be applications. Because what realistically, as a true consumer, are you doing with your 3D printers? You buy one and then what? Yeah, you download a few things. You maybe play with Tinkercad or something along those lines. But what really do you use it for? We need something that we can use these machines for. Use them with. Either that's CAD, that's teaching people how to design their own things. Either that's some sort of application where you can actually replace print replacement parts, as has been discussed so many times before, or we need something where people have a customizer interface that they can just create designs on their own, of their own. And that's going to be the next big frontier, because the machines, but we have the Mark II. This is like, you get a file and it prints. It just always prints reliably. Many printers can do this these days. It's not about the machines anymore. It is about the applications, and whoever conquers that first, whoever does, the biggest, whoever enables people to do more with their machines, with the machines they might already have, they're gonna come out on top. So, yeah. Just to put that out there again, it's not about the machines anymore. It is about what we can do with them. Right. Will we ever see you delve into CNC machines? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Definitely. Okay, and with that, I think I'm just gonna leave you with the printer. I'm getting a sore throat. I'm slowly getting a sore throat. The print is at 47%. If you want to keep watching, that's fine. That's okay. I will come back once this print is close to finishing. I will check back. But for now, I do have to save my voice. There we go, microphone switched over. It should be a lot less noisy right now. But yeah, I'm gonna leave you with this for now. And I'm actually just gonna do some emails and stuff. Alright, and we'll see you again in a second. Let's get these overlays out of the way. And maybe this one as well. So if this is meditative for you, if that's relaxing, go ahead, keep watching. If not, I'm not gonna judge if you go do something else. But yeah, I'll be back once this printer is somewhat more progressed and once it is back into the multi-material phase. Alright. Maybe I should get rid of the filmmaker killing my hip. There we go. Alright. See you in a while. It's gonna be a while. Ooh. Hey, quick question. I don't know how audible I am. Oh no, we have the overlays back. With this overhead webcam, which is now clearly crapping out over me all over the place, I do have one of these cheapo Eken H9 cameras, 4K Ultra HD. Yeah, right. Does anyone know if there's like an easy? This thing has HDMI out. Does anyone know if there's like an easy way to use these as a webcam, or as a? I mean, it has Wi-Fi. Is there like an easy way to just plug this in? Is there any special driver that you can use? Because I kind of want to just use this as an overhead camera. That would be nice. I really don't want to go down the route of getting another capture card just for the overhead camera, which, I mean, it would be a possibility, but yeah. If anyone knows anything about that, let me know. It's not an SJ4000. It uses the same batteries. It's kind of the same form factor, but yeah. Have I tried turning the webcam on and off again? Yeah. It's just I don't know if it's USB power or USB data or something. I don't know. Raspberry Pi and MJPEG. I know the Raspberry Cam is actually pretty darn good. I have a few of those, but I don't want to go down the route of adding another Raspberry Pi, another computer. So HDMI. Webcam. Okay, I guess I'll just try this webcam. I think last time I plugged it in, it didn't show up as anything. Alright, I'm just gonna go and try that out. It's an Eken H9. I did upload some sample footage of this on one of my other channels, which I just keep for throwing trash like that on there. It's pretty horrible for that, but as an overhead webcam in a well-lit studio, it should work. It should work. All right, we'll try. $40. Pretty expensive for $40, but you get a ton of accessories. Though you do have to print the regular mount without the case. You do have to print it yourself. You only get like the big waterproof cage. And if you want the lighter one, you have to do that yourself. All right, I'll just try that out. Why not Reels SJ4000? I don't know. Eken was cheap. All right. Thank you. I'll be back in a while. I don't know. The print looks good. Still only using silver because obviously you're not going to see the colors on the inside and the Y-waste filament for switches there. Alright. But I'll do that. I'll try that out on the desktop. I will not try this out on the small, puny laptop that's already struggling with just the stream. I guess we could. Do something like this. Yeah, I guess. What percentage are we on? 83%. Which means it should start printing some multi-material pretty soon. We are printing a gear bearing, which has 6 little fishbone gears inside that are being used as bearing balls, basically. Or bearing rollers. Nightblood, I don't think Nightblood is around. I've not seen him in a while. Herringbone, yes, herringbone is... how do I explain it without the right terminology? Probably someone in chat can explain it better than I can. Join! We're at 84%. Let's try this again. How long will the print take? So it is at 2 hours 58 minutes. It said it would take 3 hours. It's probably going to take more than 3 hours. I think. Trying to think about how I can give you all an angle on the LCD and the print and maybe the extruder. Yes, the printer is brand new. It came as an already upgraded Mark II multi-material printer. This was not a kit. This was an assembled Mark II that already had the upgrade installed. So no multi-material upgrade that was installed by me, just the finished printer. Is it taking longer because it's in quiet mode? No, it is not taking longer. I wonder, is that better? Quiet mode. I'm not 100% sure about quiet mode, whether it only reduces the current to the motors, but it feels like it's also playing with the decay modes. So there might be a bit more to it than other. There might be a bit more to it other than just reducing stepper currents. Have I done more printing on the CR10? Yes. it prints very well. Use my affiliate link if you want to buy one. toms3d.org/CR10blue. More noisy. Ooh, what? Interesting. Bassier. Yeah, CR10. It is most definitely a lower end. Wow. A lower end printer than most others. It is better than some of the super cheap printers, but it is certainly still a budget machine, a very good one at it. What are the downsides to quiet mode? Not sure. Oh, now oh, excitement! Excitement! We are doing multi-material again. Oh, someone's asking for my face. Yeah, I think you'd rather want to watch that now, right? You don't want to see my face right now. So we are doing multi-material priming. We're switching to blue, infinity blue, that is. So it is bridging over the sparse infill. So for all of you asking, why did we print all this infill or all this multi-material priming for this whole time? This is why, because it needs something to print onto. It needs something to print the purge lines for this upper part of the print onto. So yeah, that's why. Shy, sorry, reviews are in sort of a bad spot right now. I don't really want to do that many anymore, or anymore. I've got like, I don't know, 15 things queued up that I need to review, but I kind of don't want to do just reviews. And if I keep working on reviews at the same pace that I, get requests for them, that will be all I'd be doing. So, yeah, sorry, not for now. Michael Spano Jr. So if there wasn't any more multi-material, would it still have printed that gray scaffold? No, it would not have printed that gray scaffold. It would just have stopped printing the that priming block at all. It would have gone on with the print without printing any more of the waste pillar priming block, whatever you want to call it. Can you do reviews but just not of printers? It's the same thing! It is the same thing. Like, reviews, too much work, and if you're not specifically like gearing them towards affiliate sales, then they're not worth it. They are too much work for what's, for the value you're generating with them. So, yeah. But this is some sort of review from the MK2S multicolor. It's not, it's just a first impressions thing. Like, Is that the gold? It looks greenish from here. Yes, it is the gold, and it does look greenish in real life. Yeah, whatever happened to the SLA printer? I've not gotten around to it yet. So I will try out the duplicator again. Just not gotten around to it yet. Don't get me wrong. Reviews on YouTube, product reviews on YouTube, if you have an affiliate model set up with them, they earn you a shit ton of cash. They are the single biggest revenue stream a YouTuber can have. If all you're doing is reviews, oh boy, you are a rich man. However, there are certain moral implications to doing them that way. and it's just I've not figured out how to correctly do them without, you know what I mean. It's like, yeah. Is the quiet mode in all of Marlin, or is it just for the Mark II-S? It's a feature that Prusa has added to Marlin because they have control over step occurrence in the Rambo Mini. Why does the filament not fall down inside the gaps? It's called bridging, yes. Is this printer printing 4 filaments? Yes, it is. In fact, wow! We have 4 filaments that are all connected to this very 3D printer. I guess I should plug back in. We're at 88%. Where's my... Where's my plugins? 24/7 3D print stream? Maybe. Yeah, Maker's Muse just put out a video about the issues with the reviews. That's a very good video. I would most certainly recommend you watching it. It's got all the big points that I want to hit when it comes to explaining why that's an issue, or why reviews are an issue, and why YouTube reviews specifically are an issue. I was planning on making one just like it, but Angus did a great job with it. So yeah, go watch it. Me should plug it back in. Cool story about why I have a Rode VideoMic Pro, by the way. I did order a Rode VideoMic Go, the cheapo, what is it, like $50 mic that's powered off the camera, and they sent me this instead, which is like a €190 microphone, so basically 4 times the retail price for free. Someone might have just like picked the wrong thing. I didn't complain. But now I have a VideoMic Pro, which it's a fantastic microphone. I didn't think it was going to be this good, but I really didn't need it. So, yeah. So many messages. Why does your extruder not wear a sock? This one didn't come with a sock. I didn't put one on. Do you have anything you're excited to try out with the multi-material, or something that you've planned to use it for? Well, now that I have a bulletproof, reliable multi-material machine that does 4 materials, you know, it's one of those things you have to make up your mind to it. That, you know, you now have this possibility. So I kind of have to make up my mind to what I'm actually going to do with this. Will there be another video at the Dolly Mark II? Yes, eventually. And same thing I always say. Is that a Prusa filament rack or your own? This thing back here, this is the official Prusa filament racks that came with a printer. I believe they are included with the multi-material upgrade. Yeah, this machine was this machine cherry-picked for me? Very likely, considering that you're not able to purchase this machine as is in the first place. So, yeah. Also, this, what is it, printer packing list. This thing, the unpacking instructions, it's probably not going to be in focus. I can show you in focus here. Unpacking instructions. this does not look something you'd include with like a big production run of a 3D printer. This is just like a, yeah, here, Angus, Joel, and Tom are gonna get this multi-material upgraded machine. Let's give them some instructions. That's what that feels like. But yeah. What's up? How are we discussing Birkenstock again? How, I wear socks. There's more purge power than there is print. Yes, very correct. Have you tried the Olsen Ruby yet? Yes, I have. It works beautifully. It's just completely unnecessary. Davidov saying, I haven't ever seen someone really get any discrepancies between a review model and a self-bought model. Well, there are. Review models very often are cherry-picked. Even if it's just that little extra bit of testing they go through just to make sure everything works. How long time did it take to install the upgrade? Well, it took me about 15 minutes to install it because for me all it was taking the printer out of the box. Again, this one was already pre-upgraded as I got it. Am I making chewing noises? I'm pretty definitely making chewing noises. How soon before the Chinese copy this? That's a good question because so far I've not. So the Chinese are very good at copying like simple things, especially when it comes to the very low price market. And simple things are usually the things that haven't evolved in a while. Like if you look at the A8 or something, that's practically the same printer as we were building that we were printing 5 years ago, just cheaper. So yeah. Oh, chewing noises aren't bad. Cool. Get some more of that going. So we are switching to Vertigo Gray. Have I tried out E3D? Yes, I have. I don't know what sort of question that is, but this is hard to copy. Well, there are companies that are copying this, or that are doing the same. I mean, Prusa isn't technically, I think, the first company who's doing this sort of Y-splitter setup with, you know, a multi-input hot end feeder like that. But, well, all I know for now is that this thing showed up, it works, at least for PLA. But yeah. Do they have Dr. Pepper where you live? No, well, occasionally you can get it like as a special deal thing, but not regularly. Or I would be a different shape than what I am today. Dumblet29 quoting me as, I won't stick through the entire print, sticks through the entire print. Well, I've been gone. Yeah. Rumi is pimping my slider with laser cut legs. Nice! I mostly use it on a tripod though, so for me it doesn't need legs, but awesome. Upload them to Imagine as a, I don't know, remix? Something? That would be awesome. %? We're actually at 91%. Any lines on your CR10? I don't know what you mean. Like, what lines? Demon's asking, do I do this channel full time? Yes, I have been doing this channel for full time for about a year now, even. It's growing. Like, I started on pretty much minimum wage, but we're getting there, Kaufland? Oh shit, I should check. When it's done, would you mind figuring out what the purge tower weighs in comparison to the print? Yes, I can figure that out, but we're gonna have to put a big, huge, wrong side. Big, huge asterisk next to that, because again, this purge tower is hollow on the inside, first of all, because we're not using the dual extrusion feature for most of the print, so that's going to save a lot of weight. However, the purge tower, well, purge block in this case, also heavily depends on on your layer height, on, you know, how many materials you're using, on a lot of different factors. So it's not necessarily a fixed ratio. So yeah, is the pay good? Well, nobody's really paying me. It's like making money. So whatever I earn is. I'm a freelance dude, like, you know. Hopefully there is no Kaufland here. Well, it's a 5-minute drive. I will check the Kaufland for Dr. Pepper. Thank you for the tip, for the hint. Have I ever wanted to do a live stream in my native language? That would be interesting to watch. Maybe someday on a different channel, not on this one. What 3D printer do I recommend for a second printer? That depends on what your first printer is. That's a good question. And it also depends on what you're going to be using it for. But I can definitely see, like, if this would be your primary printer, I can definitely see something like a CR10 as just your secondary. Just if you ever want to do anything big. It should fill a niche that your primary printer can fill. That's a very specific question. Can Can Cura do variable infill like Simplify 3D can? Variable infill or what's it called? Cubic subdivision or... Yes, Cura can do variable infill. It is actually one of the most important features to me that Cura 2.5 I think introduced. And 2.6 and 2.7 also does. That is the variable infill. It does either a shell on the outside of your part, cubic subdivision, a shell on the outside where it uses little cubes, and then the further it gets towards the inside, it has bigger and bigger cubes with more and more air in them. Or you can also do, I don't know what the feature is called exactly, but you can do like the top layers. Like the top layer is going to have, if you set it to 25% infill, the top layer is going to be 25% infill for the first 3-5 millimeters, whatever you set it to. Then it's going to have one section of 12.5% infill, and then what is it, 6.25% infill, etc., etc. And you can have that step down towards the inside of the part and have that get thinner, and that's very, very good to have. What non-3D printing channels do you watch in your own time? I actually don't watch 3D printing channels that much or at all, because they're not anything new or exciting for me. It's just like I don't know. I know so much about this stuff. I don't need to, surround myself with it more than I already do. Who do I watch? Who am I subscribed to? Sam and Nico? Definitely. Very much recommended. Corridor, of course, that goes along with that. Who else? Let me check. Subscriptions. Colin Furs, of course. This old Tony, yes, very much recommended.
Very informative and entertaining. Thank you.
Let me finish. Griffin Hammond, yes. I like to make stuff. MKBHD, Matthias Wandel, Film Riot. Node. Mighty Car Mods, oh yeah, good fun. And that's pretty much it. Laura Kampf, yes, of course. And that is pretty much it, yeah. AVE, yeah. Nah, not really. Not my kind of thought. Rocket Jump? Oh, Rocket Jump, yeah, they've been through a tough time on YouTube. Did I unsubscribe recently? Nah, I didn't. They've just not uploaded anything in a while. CNC Kitchen, well, that's 3D printing again. LTT, yeah, kind of. LTT, what a strange story they've been through. Yeah, I guess that they're going, or they have already gone through what 3D printing channels and my channel is going through right now. It's like that reorientation away from just doing tech and unboxing, that sort of stuff, towards projects and entertainment, because well, same reasons basically. And they went into a direction that I didn't really appreciate for a while. They went very clickbaity and loud and flashy thumbnails and wow, and wasn't my kind of thing. They are getting towards it. Get Hands Dirty, yes, very very good channel as well. Tested, I don't think I'm actually subscribed to Tested, but I do watch their stuff. Just like who else was it there? The Vsauce, Veritasium, or however you pronounce that. But whenever those pop up, I do watch them. I guess YouTube knows better than I do what I want to watch. So that usually works out pretty nicely. Right, where were we? We kind of took off and do you have some helping hands? No, I do not yet. Cat videos? I have a dog. I don't need cat videos. Right, we kind of scroll by so much. When do you expect the print to be finished? Well, considering that I'm actually standing here and waiting for it to finish, rather soon. So it's at 94%. Considering that the... Can I get this on? I probably can't. Considering that the LCD is telling me it's at 94%. It's not gonna work. It's at 94%, and the print says it's taking 3 hours. I would expect it to finish within the next 30 minutes or so. Would you recommend one of the A8 clones on eBay for around 120 pounds? No. Oh, slow-mo guys, yeah, I totally forgot about those. This MM, whenever I see MM, I read it as Mendel Max, and that's a completely different machine. Seems to use a lot of space. Mariusz is saying or suggesting, and yes, that is the case. If I unplug this, it's probably not gonna come back. Is it? Oh no, my hotkey stopped working. Cool. Here we go. Yeah, well, that's what I meant. It's probably not going to come back. Nope. So yeah, there is definitely this this dilemma of using all these extra spool holders, because these are just sitting on the table right now, and overall it uses about twice as much space as a standalone Mark II would. So that is definitely something to consider. You might be able to reduce the space use by getting somewhat creative with the way you stack these spools. It might be an option to actually move the extruders somewhere else and to move it up and kind of have it stacked on top of this entire thing. Not sure though. You do need to keep this loop, or if you just have it feeding straight down, it's going to just kink and push into itself as the tool head moves up. So that's interesting. Interesting proposal. I guess you could compact the space this entire thing uses by extending these Teflon tubes that extend out of the filament holders and feed them right up to the extruder bodies. Don't have a better perspective, unfortunately, right now. Which would allow you to get a bit more creative with the placement of the spools. So that is, excuse me, that is something that you could definitely try. But it is, just by the fact that it is 4 spools versus 1, it's gonna take up a lot more space. Kirk is asking, do I have a PO box? Well, German law requires me to publish my address, so if you want that, you can Google that within 2 clicks, and I'm even required to link that wherever I publish content. So my address is linked directly from YouTube. So if you, I don't know, send me stuff or something, that's there though. I don't know, please don't send me stuff unannounced. Please don't break into my house. We have a ferocious dog and alarms. And you're probably not gonna get in. Just telling you. Yeah. And yes, with that is German law. Because you are someone who publishes something, and you're basically not allowed to publish stuff anonymously. It's pretty shitty. It's like, it's some remainder leftover bit of ancient times. Whatever. Do I feel safe? Well, if this government requires me to do these things, then I also expect them to keep me safe. Ananas pizza is acceptable. Well, the thing is, pizza, no one delivers pizza here. We tried. You folks failed. Please correct. Oh shit. There we go. Sorry. Yes, I am German. Born and raised. Yes, I could have a separate address, but that means I'd have to actually rent out a separate place, which wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I just don't need it right now. I have a feeling this might not have been the last package that will show up here. Containing 3D printers. Well, how much longer until the print is finished? Well, 96%. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ben Burns is asking what I do to stay sane. I think I'm just failing at that. Not really thought about that, but I should. Would it be possible to extrude molten sugar in an FDM style printer? Probably. Birthday cards. Well, thankfully my birthday is... Shit, my birthday is probably public as well because... Yeah. Is that even in focus? Well. What's the largest printer I have ever built? Well, that's the Service Reborn. That's the video that plays when you open up my channel page. It's a meter tall. Exactly a meter tall, because I'm using 1 meter long aluminum extrusions for it, and it's sitting right there. It doesn't have the largest build envelope of any printer I have. And in fact, probably the smallest printer I will ever build will have the largest print envelope of any printer I own. Which reminds me I need to order parts for that. What retractions works best for CR10? I don't know! I don't know. Events in Germany? None planned yet because the small German fairs are kind of... They sometimes are just a waste of time. Will I be weighing the Perch block when done? I should get a kitchen scale. Stuff with Kirby's asking, is the color only on top and bottom of the gears? Yes, it is. Saves a lot of filament. Have I ever had a fire? No, thankfully. Does silent mode slow down the print? No, it does not. Have you seen the Dutch Felix printers? I think I have. Bum, 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 bum. Where did I buy my sweater? This stream is not sponsored by Zalando.de. That's where I bought it, and it's not available anymore. It's a super dry, fake Japanese brand. Last year's collection. I'm gonna go get a kitchen scale. Holy shit, it's warm in here. It's nice. But it's also pretty warm. Kitchen scale. Alright. Fun fact. Take a cheap Amazon, I don't know how much this thing was, kitchen scale that runs out of battery every 2 weeks, and it takes 2 of the CR2032 lithium batteries, which aren't that cheap. There is a quick solution for that. You add a USB charger, lithium ion charger, you add a few spare lithium polymer batteries, a 5-volt step-up, and suddenly you have a kitchen scale that you can charge via USB, and the battery lasts like a year now. Awesome. Yo. What is the vision for my channel in the next 1 to 2 years? Well, I do want to expand it past 3D printing. It's an easy one. Maybe whatever employee I end up getting will help me with that. That's the new iPad. Who knows? We're at 97%. Needs Wi-Fi. How much does this printer cost? Well, okay, let's consider costs here. Let's add those up. So the Mark II S, which this is based on basically, that is 999 euros. The multi-material upgrade, I believe, is 269 or somewhere along those lines. Now that Prusa shop is back online, we can actually look that up. No, that's the wrong one. Here we go. So 3D printers, printer upgrades. Let's see. Oh, 389. That's the Mark IIs multi-material. 329. So this is math. That is including tax. I'm just trying to figure that out. So 1,328 euros, which makes it cheaper than every other multi-material printer I've used so far. If you consider this, you know, if you want to build it as a kit, of course the kit is cheaper. The kit is 739, I believe, instead of 999. Yes, for the base printer without the multi-material upgrade. What's the best beginner printer? Well, one that works. I don't even... Yes, I do have a phone with me. Depends on what you want. If you want to learn, get something cheap, because you will do a lot of research and a lot of experimenting with a cheap machine. If you want something that just works, get something like this. Still have the option to mod. Someone's asking, what phone do I have? That is a OnePlus 3T with a black back. You don't get those everywhere. Have I ever assembled the Prusa from kit? Yes, I have. There's actually a video of the live stream from it. Colin Hill is asking, how does the Rambo Mini, that camera is out of focus, accommodate the extra 3, well, the extra, it's actually, technically all 4 of these are connected to the multiplexer board right here. I think I've gone over this a few times, but this is an add-on board that the multi-material machine gets that takes the stepper output of the Rambo Mini and switches it to each of these 4 motors as each one is needed. So still only one driver on the board, but it uses a few extra pins to just switch between each of the motors. Very simple concept. There we go. Very simple concept, but it works. It works very well. Yes, stream delay with the second one that I started. I just wanted to be safe. We could stop it right now, you know. I just wanted to be safe with the with the stream since the first one was crapping out so much and stepped it down to normal latency, which is around 30 seconds. Did I miss tips? Looks like it did miss tips. 37 minutes ago, Alex Butt, thanks for the €5. 23 minutes ago, Gillup, thanks for the €10. As always, very informative and entertaining. Our live streams are entertaining? Interesting. And 22 minutes ago, Rocco for the €4.19. That's probably like $5 or something. But thank you. What do I think about Zmorph? I've interviewed them at... Where was that? Somewhere. Was it Seabit? It might have been Seabit. Very good concepts. Very good, very bright people, good ideas. Not sure how well their stuff works in real life, but good ideas. And from what they were showing, it was very promising. Do I have another job to earn enough money? I don't have another job. I just get by shilling out to, affiliate partners. Will this print have the new ironing feature I read about? No, probably not. Is that a part of SlickVR yet? I thought it was in Simplify 3D and Cura. Ah, here we go. Yes, so let me show that again. Can the purge tower be scaled to tiny? And here's our same old 3D Benchy dual extrusion that we had before. And within the Prusa control 0.9.3_388 beta, you can set the wipe armor or wipe amount to reduced, which is less material wasted, or increased. But of course, with each material you use, this gets wider by 1. Does it? Well, this is 2 materials, so by half of this, it expands for each material you're using. And by the way, here are the materials you can mix in a single print. Or I don't know how well they're going to work together, but theoretically, you can print Prusa PLA in the first one and then, I don't know, a polycarbonate ABS in the second one. Incompatible materials. It is possible the print will fail. It will let you print it, but there's no guarantee it's going to work. XT, also incompatible. That's what I love about Prusa control. These little details that... And ABS and ABS work. These little details that are just like, hey, maybe that's not a good idea, what you're trying to do right now. Just little things, but it's nice. PVA with ABS might not work. PVOH with ABS might also not work. Cool. Nope. Does Prusa control work with any other print? Theoretically it does, but I don't know if they've implemented the configs yet. Will it be at form next? Don't know. When is that? Probably not. Print is at 99%. CHEIT is 15, so this might be the last layer. what they think about the flash fuse process. I don't know what that process is. Harrison asking, did I ever go into the new texture of some of the printer's printed parts? Did not yet. Well, I did, but not really gotten a chance to go into much detail there. Mark IIs is much less noisy. Can't really tell that it's less noisy. I honestly don't, I can't tell the difference between the S and the regular one. This is an S, obviously. And also, it is only little details. The Mark IIs isn't a huge overhaul. It is just, an incremental increase. And there's not really a lot that would have improved loudness. Or noise. And we did try the 15 decibels that are being quoted here are not between the Mark II and the Mark IIs, but they are simply between the high power mode and the silent mode. This printer can run it. This is silent mode right now. We can switch it to high power mode if you so desire. You can do that during a print, and you should be able to hear the difference. It is much noisier, of course. This is sitting on a wood countertop, on a particle board, laminate countertop. So that does amplify it a bit, but yeah, there still is a huge difference between silent and high power. Thank you for the $5, Curtis Gasson. Glad that you enjoy the videos. I keep thinking when it retracts, I keep thinking, it must be done now. But this must be the last color. Considering there are, how many people are watching right now? Let's check. Holy shit, 1,507 viewers. Okay, considering over 1,000 people will watch a printer just do its thing, I feel like I should just live stream every single one of my prints. Just like... just put a camera on it. Have 1,000 people watch it. Yes, coffee. Thanks, AT Racing. At Racing. For the tip. For the coffee fund. Actually, I did bring, you might have seen the Twitter post about it. About a month ago, I went on a bike tour with my dad over the Alps, which was an 8-day trip on the mountain bikes. Awesome trip. And the one thing I brought back was coffee. Cafe. Italian espresso. And it's lovely. It is lovely. All right, we're done. We're done. Those 16 euros, 76 just probably bought, I don't know, 2 kilos of coffee. Yeah, well, thank you. We're done. It's happened. So printer says we're at 3 hours 55. So that I don't know. So the file said 3 hours. Technically, yeah, it was 3 hours, but it was more like almost 4 hours. So I would have put 4 hours on that. So yeah. Let's see. Let's take a quick look at the print quality we're getting here. So first of all, surface finish. This is rapport. Nope. There we go. This is filamentum, yes, filamentum, Rapunzel silver. So what do you expect? Surface finish is going to be glorious. And it is coming off. Look at that. Wow. The bottom, someone was asking about how the bottom turns out with the PEI. And this is how the bottom turns out. It just takes on the texture of the PEI. You can kind of see inside that only the first few layers are using the second or the other three colors. But overall, it does sell the illusion quite nicely. Are we getting blobs? Not really. We're getting a bit of stringing. So maybe up retracts a bit. There's that scar where the layers started or ended in this case. Let's see, does this turn? Might have to break it loose. And I did set the first layer quite low. You can feel that ridge on the edge. So yeah, let's see. There is a hex key on the inside, a hex slot. Now you can see it did fuse together on the bottom. Let's see, I might have to grab a hex key for that. Unless I actually have one. That's too small. It's also too small. Cool. Should be able to spin this with a cordless drill. But how much does the print cost in material? Well, the print is actually rather, the filament is cheap. So let's see how much we actually used. Again, this is probably not your typical multi-material use case. But let's weigh this stuff anyway. Somebody already posted the results because they have printed these parts. Let's see, so the waste block, which is mostly hollow on the inside, again, because there was this section in the center of the part where it didn't use any of the dual material, so it only printed light infill. This is 15 grams, 16, and the gear itself is 20. So even though it looks like a lot more material, it is less because it's hollow on the inside. And that is just a result of smart design of this part, where it's just the other colors on top and just the one main color most of the way through. And that totally makes sense. Printed another fidget spinner. Slam it on the desk. It will pop loose. I can feel it coming loose. Okay. Okay, here we go. These are loose. This one as well. Got a click out of that. Yeah, I do occasionally watch lockpicking channels just for interest. So here we go. There we go. This spins not quite as well as I wanted to yet. But we're getting there. There you go. So yeah, it really was only fused together on the bottom. So it does spin. It does spin. 7mm Allen key? What? Who in their right mind uses 7mm Allen key? So it does spin. It doesn't spin that well yet. I might just please cut it open. Why cut it open? I might just have to get that cordless drill and give it a good spin. Maybe do I have that here? I do not, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Gonna get it. Just for funsies. So let's see, that must be a 7. Is this seriously a 7mm? Come on. Get that in focus. That is second gear. I thought that was going to be faster. But yeah, that does spin. And now it does spin a bit better even. Cool. It does get warm though. I don't want to melt the PLA. Maybe if we add a bit of grease here, that might turn out better. But cool. Printed a fidget spinner. Right, and now I think I know what this box that I saw on the print bed was. Sorry if we can't really see this. You can kind of make it out on this one. You can see this shape right here. This is where the box was sitting, and this is where the bearing was sitting. So this does kind of leave an imprint, and there was one imprint on the PEI bit when I opened this up. So yeah, that they were printing a multi-material test on this guy before I got it, so they did make sure that it would work, which I appreciate. I don't really enjoy fiddling around with stuff that's not gonna work. So cherry picked, not sure. Does it work? Yeah. Is it well built? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just going through the details here, having the dual gear drive, the Bond or genuine Bondtech drive gears in here, which grab the filament from both sides. The Festo couplings, those are probably what I'm impressed by most, even though it seems like such a mundane detail. But again, let me just reiterate this. These couplings that hold the that are blurry, but these couplings up here, these are genuine Festo couplers for the Nope. Camera, come on, please. Okay, whatever. These Festo couplers up here that hold the 4 Bowden tubes onto the carriage into the Y coupler, these have no play. These have no backlash. The Bowden tubes just don't wobble around. That is probably a huge plus for print quality that you're going to get. It's going to be more precise. It's going to be crisper. It's going to string less with lower amounts of retracts. That makes so much of a difference. And it, compared to others, this is fantastic. Little details like that just makes me think somebody really sat there down and thought about these things and invested into the details. So that kind of makes me happy. It's not just, something thrown together as cheaply as possible, which I'm definitely guilty of doing as well. But somebody really took the time to work out these details. So, ow, that thing has sharp edges. But anyways, very happy with it so far. I will keep using it. I will definitely do a few prints with it, play around with it. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've not found like the downfall of this specific design. Now, and of course I know that like the 4-in 1-out setup, they have their issues. They're, when it comes to the similar materials, that they will crap out at some point. But I don't know, the multi-material system, it just feels like an extension of what the Mark II originally was. It's like, yeah, it just works. I'm sorry for that phrase, but it does so far. Of course, I'm going to have to see how well the slicer works, how intelligent it is there. And yeah, will I dolly this as well? We'll see how happy Prusa's going to be about that, but maybe. All right. That I think is going to be it for today. Start another print. Nah, not for now, but really happy with it. And we're getting no color bleed. That's something I'm also quite impressed with. If you look at the top here, this is perfectly clean. There is no cross-contamination between the dark to the light ones. Purging obviously was set quite strongly, but yeah, this is as good of a dual extrusion print as you, or dual. I keep saying dual extrusion. It's a quad extrusion print. This is as good a quad extrusion print as you're gonna get, I'd say. I don't know. You might disagree. You might have better ones, but yeah, the way this print is set up, it's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. So yeah, as expected from Prusa, solid performance so far. Anyways, will we be printing multicolor benchy? Yes, maybe. We have 4 colors. This is kind of giving me all sorts of ideas now that you can do 4 different filaments in a single print. This is pretty neat. Pretty neat. It's not just 2. It's not just soluble support plus material. It's 3 materials plus soluble support, if that works out. So yeah, do black to white and red transitions. Yeah, I know those are tricky. I'll try those. So anyways, thank you all for stopping by. What's my sign off? Subscribe if you like this sort of live stream. Hit the thumbs down if you didn't like this sort of live stream. What else? Cancel your Patreon pledge if I suck. Now, just kidding. Anyways, I mentioned it before. I don't have affiliate links for the Prusa i3 Mark II or for any Prusa printer as of today. If you want to get one, that's fine with me. I'm not earning anything with it. So yeah, stay safe out there. Have a nice evening, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Shit, I'm not MKPhD. I can't do that. See ya.